it's enough of that. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, as you can see, we brought our disclaimer up again, and we have our email address right on the screen, and we really would like some feedback from anybody out there. You got questions, anything you want, if you got input or info, that'd be terrific, because we really appreciate that. So, as you all know, I'm Bill,
I'm Dan.
and it's good to be here again.
Yeah.
We're doing one just a couple of days later because I'm getting ready to go away for a week, and we wanted to cover a couple of things before that happened. What you got on there first, Dan?
Well, of course, it's fan feedback. It's really, I get people on social media sites. I get people sending email. I got people that I talk to face. First one was about a question. Somebody called and reached out, on a social media site and asked about our pool update. Our pool was taken out of commission here, about a month or so ago, pretty close to it, to redo the whole thing. They had a big project, a lot of money, big project. Of course, it's been on hold for 2 weeks now because they didn't have everything on order, and what they did have was started coming in recently. So it's interesting enough that people ask about that, and I like to tell people, and the bathrooms are still ongoing, I guess. They did the roofs on there to the tune of about, I don't know, some $9,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
9,700.
I did get an update.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
On the pool or
on the pool?
Oh, good.
On the pool.
Go for it. What's up?
Within 3 or 4 days, I got this update yesterday. Within the next 3 or 4 days, all the pavers will be delivered. I went by there last night just to check.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the paver sand. There's a couple of pallets
right.
delivered.
Yeah, that's what I saw the other day.
So, he said the paver should be delivered within the next 3 or 4 days, and it's only going to take a couple of days to install them, and then it should be open.
Good.
That's what they're saying. So let's see what happens.
Yeah,
we were told it wouldn't go any longer than the first of the year, but I think it's gonna.
Well, when she gave our manager, when she gave her report at the last board meeting on the 18th, was just a week before Christmas, so 10 days ago from today. She gave an update on that whole thing, and said they're right on target. She has a punch list with the contractor to go over in case anything falls through the cracks or any delays, things like that. The bids are ongoing on anything else that they've had in our park that they consider. Like she said, it's been a challenging year. A lot of things going on. They weren't fully staffed in the beginning of the year. They are now, which is good news. I'm not so sure it's always good news. It seems like these guys seem like nice fellows and all, but they're kind of older than the people who even live in our 55 and over park, which is interesting. But anyway.
No, you know what the answer we get for that is they can't get anybody to work. Nobody wants to work.
That's what they say.
And they advertise. I do know they advertise all over. I've seen it all over social media. And
they still have issues with fobs. We put a new fob system in, and as a matter of fact, being the chairman of an activity in our park, I have access to the dump on certain days between certain hours that normally people wouldn't have. But I went down to the dump today on Saturday at 9:45. The dump has been open for 45 minutes. I couldn't get in. My fob wouldn't let me in. I tried it 3 or 4 times. The office, I've already talked to them about it. They say they don't even see my recognition being there. Like it never even acknowledged that I tried. So they still have issues. And I understand here in the North Clubhouse they still have issues as well. Contractors, when you think about contractors, people around here want to know, why don't we get better competitive bids? I know in our park they require a certain amount of insurance, and you require to belong to a certain club and things like that. So, it's kind of like the shirt. I know a guy, hey, I know a guy, he'll do it for us, But anyway, if they don't have the insurance, of course, they won't even bid. And a lot of them won't bid because they know our company that actually runs this park, they don't want to bid on stuff like that. It's really interesting. I recommend to anybody out there in any park, whether it be our own or anywhere else, if you have some kind of issue going on that you've repeatedly talked to management, committees, board members, whatever, it doesn't make any difference, and you haven't got anything that really satisfies your urges to say, yes, we got that resolved, and it's important enough for you, like having a phone in one of the clubhouses that's missing just to save a few dollars a month, you need to push that. You need to find somebody who is just as concerned as you are, like one of the committee members. Make sure you convince them. This is a concern. do it from a safety aspect if you want to. But the only way you're going to get anything done in any committee on any park is to have somebody in the know or you yourself get involved in it to make somebody aware of it. Because if it's not their problem, they're not going to care about it, basically.
And
You know.
Dan, before you leave here today, leave me that list, would you? Because there's a couple of things I can probably put questions in on.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
And
that.
see if we get some answers. You know, that
Mhm.
that phone issue has been ongoing.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, this gal reached out to me twice, and we talked about it. I think it was on podcast 7 or 8. I think.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah.
You know, and like I said to her, the management in our park or the board in our park is not going to be listening to this podcast. This is for you as a member of the park.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be that hard to rectify. I'm sure
No.
we're still paying for a phone in there.
Absolutely.
You know, we have a huge contract with Spectrum.
Yeah.
In fact, it's being renewed right now again for another 5 years. But they've been great. I got to say that about Spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, anytime we've
They
called
have.
them or I've had to call them or
Yeah.
whatever, Johnny on the spot.
Yep. They usually
know?
are. They usually
And
are.
even I had to go down to the store once because I didn't want to wait for a delivery. That's
Yeah,
all. You know,
that's
they
it.
offered to deliver it, and I said, "No, I'll come down." You know, and I went down there, and they couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I'm sure it's one phone call,
Mm-hmm.
and Spectrum will come out and take care of that. You know, the problem being is we probably have to try and find a phone that matches the system.
That's the big thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you won't know nothing until you start, and the
You have
starting
to.
point is to call Spectrum
Yep.
and find out what do we need to do to get a phone back in there. you know?
Absolutely. And find somebody on a committee that shares your same concern and interest about this
Yeah.
topic. For sure.
Well, that's actually building and grounds,
Exactly.
and I would actually start with the house manager in that clubhouse.
Yeah, one of the chairmen on that committee. There's
Yeah.
co-chairs there for sure.
So, but that's where I would go with that.
Now, Bill, at our last board meeting brought something, and we have a big increase coming up because our land is a leased land, gets renewed every 15 years. They're going through the negotiation now, and they're estimating that in our park alone, over a $200 increase. But my question, well, not my question, but what I liked about listening to the question that Bill asked at the meeting, he asked the treasurer, what amount of that $204 is going to be applied to the lease of the land? Which we know is going to be a big hit. Is it $2? Is it $200? He couldn't answer it. He was kind of, I was surprised by that. The management answered
I
it.
don't think he couldn't answer it. I don't think he wanted to answer it.
Mhm.
Because they're trying, this finance committee is trying to make everything sound like, oh, the rate is going up because of the lease payment.
Yeah.
And I says, wait a minute, the numbers don't work, you know?
Look at the note I made here when somebody gave me feedback on that. Treasurer danced around the question.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to answer it. Yeah, he didn't want to
I was
answer
like,
it.
oh
you know?
my gosh. And that's
But
pretty
it just so happens I was sitting next to the park manager, and she says, wait a minute, I have that right here.
She gave it to him.
And the breakdown is they're raising the HOA fee $15.
Yep.
Right. So the increase for the lease.
189.
Yeah, our lease does not renew. What they have is they have the option every 15 years to revalue the land and revalue our lease.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole formula laid out in the lease, which everybody that lives here has a copy of in their prospectus. It's part of the prospectus is the lease on the land. And you can go in there and look, and it's all laid out how it's to be done every 15 years. And I got to say this much, they are following it. It's a lot better than it was 15 years ago. And I was able to get a copy of the first appraisal. I'm waiting for the rest of them.
That's awesome.
And, last time they wouldn't give anybody the appraisal. And then we come to find out after the fact, after they had gone to court and they lost and everything, I mean the board lost, that they were lying to us through their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge caught them. So the judge ruled in our favor and things settled out. You know, the way the homeowners wanted it, not the way the board wanted it. They were looking to make a few $1 million on the side in that deal.
How would you describe our prospectus, Bill? Would it be like kind of a Bible, if you will?
Yes.
All right.
The prospectus is what you actually run your corporation on.
So that's what they base everything
What's
on.
expected of the corporation. You have your corporate papers are in there, what's been filed with the state, how you've been filed with the state.
So I believe there's something in there that says we are required to take competitive bids for our management company every so many years. I don't even know how many.
I think it's every 5 years. The contract runs usually every 5 years.
So why we have 8 to 10, maybe even closer to 12 years with the same
Because
company?
the
It's
people
about
on
time.
this board don't want to change the management company.
So folks in your park,
And they're saying that you don't have to do that.
anybody in our park who listens to this podcast and you really want to believe in that kind of stuff, you need to speak up.
Read the
The only thing-
prospectus.
That's right. You need to speak up. That's
It's
what
in there.
that lady wrote to me about it. That's exactly what she said.
And then if you wanna
It's
get.
in the prospectus, how it's to be done, and how things are supposed to be managed here. This particular board, and it's been going on for a number of years, I understand, but I
Oh, yeah.
only really know this particular board. Do things whatever they want. They don't care about bylaws. They don't care about what's in the prospectus. They want to change something, they just change it.
They wield it like a club that, you know.
Well, yeah, like I've accused the president of this board that he's been acting like a dictator. He didn't like that, but that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, and I
You
would
know?
get him to
He thinks he has all power all over the community. He don't. And
Thanks, and Happy New Year.
he's a president. He needs to go read his job brief. He's there to represent all the people.
And you need to get involved if you want to have a voice.
Yeah, you need to go to board meetings is one thing.
Yep.
Not sit home and watch them on the chat TV or on Zoom, but to go and sit in the board meetings and voice whatever you want. At the end of the meeting, anybody can get up and go to the microphone.
It doesn't do any good to stop me on the street or call Bill on the phone and say, I didn't like what he said, or I didn't want this being done.
Yeah.
Why would they vote for that?
Yeah.
You need to have a voice.
Well, the way I got an answer on the pool was, I had gotten a number of calls. People wanted to know, do you know anything about the South Pool? How it's doing?
Yeah.
I said, really, I don't. They don't tell me. I sent an email to the committee liaison who was in charge of that particular project. And he answered me within an hour.
Good.
And that's what he answered me with. I said, okay, thank you. And I'm hoping Megan is following up on what we talked about at the last board meeting, because there is a punch list. There's certain things I question that I haven't seen done. So we'll see. And what else you got there, Dan?
That's about it. I was concerned with our clubhouse that why only 2 people have access to it, but I guess we figured out ways around it. So.
And I don't know. I haven't tried my fob on areas where it's not general access. I should try it. I went down to the sanitation field this morning, and the gate was open. So
Really?
yeah. Well, somebody was coming out,
Oh, okay.
so it opened up as I was going in, and I didn't get a chance to use my fob. And I was gonna wait till it closed and then try it, but I had people lined up behind me, and that's not fair to them.
Yeah, they've been after me for the Zara to try to figure out if mine works on the days I can use it. But
Yeah.
I know it won't work if it doesn't work on a Saturday. What makes you think it's going to work on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'll write to the office today and see what they say.
Yeah. So, and like Dan keeps saying, and it is true, get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Get involved.
Yeah.
There's a number of people on this board of directors that just aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, last February when they were all elected, they come out, every one of them come out and said they were going to be the most transparent board we've ever seen. And then they turned around and turned their backs to all of us,
Yeah.
every member in the community, and went and did what they wanted to
Yeah.
and didn't talk about it. They won't answer questions on it. Proved that last month with the rate
Yeah.
increase coming
Yeah.
up. They don't want to talk about it. They want to blame
Crazy.
other things,
Mhm.
so they think they're looking better. The election season is here, and they don't want people to know that they're raising the HOA fee again. They do it every year. They wanted to blame it all on a lease raise.
And well, that's the first thing the park manager started with, their manager's report at the board meeting. Well, it's been a rough year, so the work orders have been piling up.
Well, it's been a rough year for number one. Half the board
Everybody.
wasn't even here.
Yeah.
So to get decisions made and things like that, and they said, "Well, I'll be in touch with them." I said, "That's not it. Nobody's on the ground here, really. Trying to help out and see what's going on."
We got a hurricane email.
And the management company that we have here keep adding more and more rules on their side.
Mm.
They started this whole what they call contractor referral, right? And what it really is, the contractors have to pay to belong to it, right? And then they have to abide by what they want, not what we call for. We only call for $1 million worth of liability insurance. They want $2 million, right? So now they're telling us, well, we can't use those contractors. Why not? They have liability insurance, they have workman's comp, they have automobile insurance.
And it's okay for us to use them as a homeowner.
Yeah, we can use them as a homeowner. No, you can't. So what they're doing, they're really being selective on who we can. And I got to tell you, a lot of the contractors we used to use here,
Won't do it.
they won't even come near the gate
They
anymore.
won't bid on it.
As soon as they find out who we are or who we're with, nope,
Yep.
don't want any part of it. And
That's
it's just
sad.
their whole attitude about that is so bad that they don't want any part of it, you know. So, but these are things we all look at and we all been talking about. How do we go about changing it? Well, it all starts with changing the board. You got to get a board of directors in line that care more about the people that live here than their own little pet projects.
You got that right.
So that's about all I got, Dan. How about you?
Care about the community. That's it, Bill. I mean,
Well,
and how much time we running at today? I didn't even notice.
no, it's a little short, but we're good.
Yeah.
And so we want to wish everybody a happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Give us feedback,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, please.
I take notes every time you talk to me about things, and,
Yeah.
and I read your emails. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I'm gonna check our email
Yeah,
right
people
now.
watching this know who we are.
Yeah.
And if you want, call us up on the phone. We're available.
Should
If
be.
you don't want to send us an email or anything like that, call us on the phone. Let us know.
We'll be anonymous. We won't talk it. We won't come out and say, "Hey, it's Joe, Susie from
As you
such
can
and
see,
such a
we don't
street."
mention names here. We don't even mention
No.
where we live.
No.
So,
Exactly.
but anyway, I want to wish everybody a happy, healthy,
happy.
and safe New Year, and we'll see you next year. Y'all
Let
take
us know
care.
what you want to hear about.
Yeah, we're always looking for topics. So,
Thank
thanks.
you.